Well, it seems there's a good amount of work today, which is really good. A lot of work behind the scenes, some of the work in front of the scene, if that make any sense. So, welcome back everyone. Apparently there's part 4. Well, I was going to do this behind the scene, but apparently I just finished the work on the forbidden sensor data. And we can show the rest of the work in here. So, what's going on? We need to delete all the objects after the user approval that missing some data. So we made the dialog, and if the result is okay, we need to delete everything. So the first thing we will do, we will call the missing data deleter. And alright. And this guy will be called here, and that's it. Not really. This guy will try to delete all the data. So how can we do that? Unfortunately, we cannot delete the objects while it enumerate. And yeah. So what we are going to do, we are actually going to make several functions. And here comes the sad part. A lot of functions are here, a lot of functions. So I'm going to make 4 additional functions and 1 main function. That's a collection of 5 new functions just to do this thing. Let me fix the GUI on the second screen a little bit so I know what's going on. Yeah, I'm having a habit to show the shot box on the second screen and make it clear because there used to be people watching me while I'm coding when I was in the live code TV, because live code TV only shows streamers, it doesn't show all videos. And actually you can view all videos, but it's pain in the ass just to see or track or find a video that you want to watch. And most of the streamers don't organize their files, and actually recently, a few months ago, they had playlists and they start updating the playlist and they screwed it up and they fix it and they screwed it up again. That's why I just like stopped streaming on there for a while and start screaming instead. I'm sorry, I didn't take a break, even though I need to take a break. I've been working more than 2 hours in a row, and I know my voice is not so clear because I start talking without thinking and focusing. And I need to check this guy, and I need to add the functions in here. So let's start with the first one. Actually, it should be Boolean. What's the first thing we check for? The equipment. So one of them delete the creature equip, one of them is the action condition, and the weapon action condition, and the weapon equip. So we are going to delete some of the stuff in here. And hopefully you realize what I'm trying to do in here. Yeah, let's try this game. Try to figure out what am I doing. Because I'm too tired and lazy to describe what am I doing. And then it make a loop. Yeah, some of the colleagues that I worked on universities have their code like this, and they leave the indentation like this, and you see that everywhere. Why? Because they copy it from the internet, from Google, from other IDEs, and from other resources, from different notebooks editors, and some of them have different indentation like this. And oh my golly, God grief, it's just good grief, it's just like, oh my, I cannot take it. Because you see a lot of indentation screwed up in the code. Like half of it in there, half of it in there, half of it just... And then they say my code is messy because they don't like the naming or whatever. It's just like... The naming from other people, I can take it, but if the indentation, even if it's look like this, maybe a little bit acceptable. But if half of the code like this and the other half in the same page in the same function, screwed up everywhere, and it's never been like this. You see it like this, yes, but see it like this, just far off, way far off. And the sad part, the extremely sad part, some of more lazy instructor do that. Some of the instructors do that. So it's kind of, it was sad. But don't take it from me. Don't go and search and now, oh, all of these guys. No, don't, I didn't say some of the instructors from which universities. Don't take it from me and try to be smart ass and point figures at people. Because that's extremely rude. That's extremely rude. So if this guy... Actually change this into equipment. And this one is action condition object. And we will take the same loop in here. And we will use the same ugly people in here. And in here return IKK value. To be honest, let's return the string, that will be better. Hopefully you already figured out what am I doing. And now these guys are the same, but for the weapons. And here the weapon, weapon. It's better to copy the one in here. And here return the name of the weapon. This scares me a little bit. I will check something soon. But let's return to our massacre. Delete this. So okay, what's going on? This guy should check all the missing datas and delete them. Unfortunately, whenever we do the loop, the enumerator cannot delete the object of the same enumerator while it's looping. So what we are going to do, we will call this function. And while this function is not empty, this is quite scary, don't you think? So what's going on? While this function is not empty, it keeps looping. So when it's going to be empty, when it doesn't, every time it starts the loop and it goes over it. I know it's big of n square, but hopefully this is not going to be that slow. But what to do? There is actually a faster way to mark all of them in a list, because actually this is n log n, I believe, not n square, because it goes n times and half every time it deletes an object. The worst case is n square by deleting all the objects. No, still n log n, I believe n log n, yeah. So if it deletes all the objects, it's n log n, worst case. So it's not the fastest. If we made a marker that mark all the objects in the list, each one of them that need to be deleted, and we deleted, we can do that. Should I do that? Damn it, I just thought about it. So anyhow, how many missing datas we will have anyway? I mean, seriously, think about it. 1, 2, 10%, 50%. How many items? And just, it won't be more than 100. But yeah, sometimes you want to do it the fastest way. So actually, we can make it a little bit faster if it gets slower. But I don't think it's really matter. By instead of returning a string, it return a list of strings. Silly me. I mean, just silly me. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Oh, sorry. So instead of delete an item and check if there's an empty another one, delete an item, check if there's an empty one, delete an item, check another. Just make a list of a string and screwed up with the mouse and the keyboard for no reason. And instead of doing a loop in here, we do a different kind of loop, but give me a second. And in here we make a list string deletion marks and here we add the string and here we delete this one. Easy. Let's do it to the rest. Oops. Let's just copy the 4 in here and return these 4. That's what's called optimize on demand, because I just listed the solution and I found out there is another solution which is faster, and all of a sudden I don't immediately apply the faster solution. I first question, does it matter? Does it really matter? If it does really matter, then you consider applying it, because you don't want to waste your time. Because we are going through a loop and we don't want to add the object twice, we need to continue. So the continue will go for each this one. I really love these additions in Visual Studio 2015. Really love them. It shows you exactly where this continue goes. It might be added in 2013. I didn't use 2013 that much. But I believe it didn't exist 2012. It might be, but I was ignorant, and I apologize if it was the case. But I really love it, and I really love the memory tracker as well. It shows you it shows you how much memory in the runtime. Very powerful indeed. It doesn't need your own trackers. You don't need to figure out, oh, but I'm printing a lot of numbers and these numbers take some milliseconds and all of that crap, and making the table by yourself and making the app. It gives you on the runtime, and it gives you everything. Very beautiful, very beautiful. So here I'm thinking in a way that I write this in 4 lines, but I don't think there's a way to write it in 4 lines. And I'm thinking to use one list, but let's not to be that sheep bastard, that kind of sheep bastard. I can use one list and clear it every time, and yeah, I can do that. So yeah, let's be a sheep bastard. Okay. Actually, I don't need to initialize it. Or maybe I can initialize it to the first one. So here we check if the list. What's wrong with me? I entered decimal before I click on continue. So in here, we call the second one, and here we call the third one, and fourth one. Damn it. Here, no, here, well, let me think for a second, just in case. So, do this, delete the objects in here, do this, delete the objects in this one, delete the objects in here, this one, delete the objects in here, this one, delete the objects in here, this one, delete the objects in here. Okay. So let's make them like this. We don't need this anymore because for int I, silly me, will cancel or do nothing when the condition fails. And in here, we what have we done? What have we done? What have we done? The only problem in my logic is I am so stupid. The only problem in my logic is I'm so stupid. The problem, we have different kinds of animated particles, creatures or weapons, and each one of them have their own equipments and action conditions. And I only return the name of the weapon without knowing who is the creature. So let's fix that really freaking quick by using a Tokenizer. So what we are going to do, the problem with Tokenizer is we need to make sure that we clean the keyboard in the worst time of the stream. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not really, because I'm cleaning the keyboard instead of, and now cleaning the table instead of doing work. Where's the... Alright, back to business. The only problem with Tokenizer is we need to make prevention of usage of certain symbols. And I'm going to make a universal prevention of symbols usage in names. So let's use one of them, which is the percentage is one of them. So let's go and set ck plus the symbol. And with this, we send two variables inside one variable. And in here, we do exactly the same. Yeah, I don't need to worry about these guys if I'm going to lead the whole thing. I'm just worried that this thing might not end well. It seems going to work. As long as I don't forget any stupid thing that makes some kind of sore itch. Yeah, where is that guy who says I should use better naming conventions? Because he doesn't like too long names, and he doesn't like too short names, and he doesn't like anything. I usually use short names for inside jobs, inside cycle and encapsulations, but for outside I use them longer and more meaningful so you can see what the hell is going on. So in here we go to the core game, the Timber game file. Wait a second. Yeah, the Timber game file. Even though I'm saving it, but yeah, I will check that later because I don't want to go to the forbidden world. It's just one reference change, so it doesn't matter. Both of them are game core files, objects, creature, and now we take this string, which is the deleted list, but we are not taking this one. We're taking we're taking the first token. So we need to make some kind of reference for the tokenizer. And the way how I do it in my system, I make an integer and then use this integer over and over. And we use the shared functions. I should change the name into shared functions, to be honest, but this is a very old function I made, and it was using my old convention of naming when I was thinking I'm so cool by using shortcut names for stuff. I'm so excited. Function, yeah, short functions. We delete 3 letters and become so cool, and we delete 4 letters and become so cool and awesome. It's H, F, U, N. Fun. Sorry. Anyway. And we send a string that we need to deal with, which is the deleted list number I, and the ref is k, and the character that we are expecting to be the token is this one. So we want to remove an equipment. The equipment name is the second token of this guy. And now we 0k. And that's it, hopefully. So it will loop with all the list, then it clears the list and take another list in its position. This is a pointer, but it will point to the same position of the memory of the temporary one that made for that function call. So that's alright. I don't know when the garbage collector will delete it though. And then we will delete the action condition the same way. We will take the creature with the same way. But this time we are going to the action condition. And we are going to remove the action condition based on the second part of the function. And we will zero the k. Once again, we will do the same thing to the weapons, but instead of selecting the weapon array, we are going to select instead of selecting the creature, animated particle, we are going to use the weapon animated particle dictionary. And that's it. And now this requires some testing and screwing up. So let's first copy this one and pray to whatever god you worship, as that guy say. So we are going to go to Walker and add a left hand. You see, if I save the name with a symbol, it will complete this code up. I will make some universal function to check the names if they have symbols or not. Actually, it will refuse even to print them on the text box, just in case. So I will do that later, just like when I done the boxes that accept numbers. It doesn't accept letters. It's a universal function to check the delegate. It's a universal delegate, sorry. Wow, look at that. It's still use temp. Oh wow. I know how to solve this. Give me a second. The APCP3 is not selected, and it should check if it's selected or not. Why this code is living in here? This code shouldn't live in here. What the hell? It should live with the viewer. I need to move this guy, and this guy, and this guy too. This is the old code, and it doesn't check any of it. If damn, yeah, it doesn't check if the selected of CVC, CPCP, SPCP. This is a new thing, or this is an old code, doesn't support the new thing. Anytime that the main SPCB, oh god, what now, is not selected, it should exit the function. Not selected, no deal. There's no question about it. And yeah, give me a second. Even you, if you're not selected, quit. These codes shouldn't live in here. I need to remove them a little bit. Alright. These guys should be yeah, should be part of the viewer. As I said, the viewer was part of only the animation tab, the animation viewer. This viewer is used for viewing static images and animations, and suddenly we have several of them that deal with animation now. So it became more general, and we need to move this to the viewer tab. I'm sorry if this is very confusing. Oh my god, what's going on? This is the tracker region. I don't want the tracker region, nor the view thing. I want the viewer. Draw rectangle mouse my point. No, I don't want you. Yeah, you. So here we go. This is similar to that function. I wonder what the hell is going on. Let me check the region again. So yeah, this is the viewer section, but where's the region? Viewer update. Good. Just double check. I didn't lose my mind. So this one is similar to this one a little bit, and I'm update unit current. Yeah, they both changing the same variables. I need to clean this hell. Seriously, this hell need a lot of cleaning. Sometimes I feel like I need some kind of a strong drink or something and delete everything and start over. Damn things. Where were we? Yeah. So let's add some data. Yeah, before I clicked on here and left the box, and this one wasn't selected and it's screwed up. And it shouldn't, because this thing must be selected to update the image, because if you click the size and leave, it should draw the size. And because this is 1, you cannot see the line. And if you make it 48 and leave the box, ta-da! So every time you leave the focus in here, it update the thing in here. So that's what's going on. But anyway, this is actually a random data that we didn't save. So if I click add, it shouldn't add because the name is empty. But when I click on aim, it should show me the info in here. Let's add right hand and not complete the list, and add an action condition. And the action condition, yeah, I need to deal with this. Just keep it like this. We don't complete it and click on save. So it will tell me that he found at least 1 missing data. It doesn't tell me the whole list. Actually, I just made a function that return the list of missing items as a names. We can make another function that return, no, fuck that. I can use that function to return how many missing data we have. And I tell it in here, 48 missing data has been found other than this. And he just tell you one of them. So if I clicked on OK and open the file again, let's try to open the file again. It didn't crash. It didn't fucking crash. As you can see, there is no left hand. These ones stayed because they are independent of the action condition. These are states and names, but no action condition list. You see, there's no action conditions here. He didn't save it. So when you select on the action condition, we don't have any because we didn't save any missing data. These ones are the states and the actions that the object accepts, and these are unique for each animated particle. But it didn't save the action condition itself. It worked. It freaking worked. Now we need to do that to the skills. Screw that. So yes, there you go. This is part 4, 5, 7, I don't know, of the missing data. The first game won't use the skill system at all, actually. And I know. I need to make the missing data for the skills before I fall asleep on that. And to be honest, maybe after the break I'll start working on that. But I finished this part, and I'm happy with that. So, thank you for watching. I'll take a break for 16 minutes, maybe fall asleep and start tomorrow. It's already midnight. And if I'm going to program after 20 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever, I will start working on the missing data on the skill system. See you then. Oh no, don't close, no, don't.